Okay, so I felt guilted into taking pictures or doing video, and now I'm doing a selfie video, which is even scarier for me. So I'm on a solo walk right now in the morning in Lyon, and I'm gonna turn this around. Oh wait, I can't turn it around. So here's the waterfront. In the distance you can see a cathedral. I don't know how old it is. You have these little tower things, which I have no idea what they do. But yeah, day 2 in Lyon. When you travel, what, 8,000, 7,000 miles away, I don't even know, your body doesn't know when to sleep. So I slept 2 hours. One day it'll hit me. Something you'll notice if you ever travel through Europe is that the train stations are huge. Their ceilings are huge. I guess Santa Fe Depot and maybe some places in the United States try to do it. But yeah, I think most of these were built in the 1800s. They might have been rebuilt after World War II. But yeah, the train system in Europe's awesome. As we learned in social studies class, one of the signs of one of the needs for a city, obviously, or a place for people to live, is water. And at least every European town starts on, at least that I've been to, starts on a river. So I'm in Strasbourg now, which went back and forth between the Germans and the French for 1,000 years, I believe. Yeah. Much nicer than Lyon, I feel, just on first impressions. Okay, this is the second McDonald's I've found in 10 minutes. There's a Five Guys here, for some random reason. And I love the title of this, Fresh Burritos. Just so you know what you're gonna get, I guess. So old houses like this are some of my favorites. Reminds me of Germany. I don't know if they're German or not, but again, like I said, this place changed hands a lot of times. And yeah, one of the best parts, the things I miss most about New York and Europe, and one of the reasons I probably told you all that I moved downtown, is because I love being able to walk everywhere. And as you can see, no cars. So you just turn a corner, and all of a sudden you see this giant thing. It's amazing how many hours, times how many years, hundreds of years to build these things. I love America, but I definitely wish we had more old things like this. So I couldn't talk in there. It was a silent cathedral. But yeah, it's older than I thought. Finished in 1439, so it took almost 300 years, 260 years to build. But I mean, it's crazy huge. When you go to any building that's that big, it's amazing. When you go to the Great Pyramids or any temples built by any people around the world, it's amazing. And just in case you run out of shoes or your shoes break, you got Foot Locker. I can't talk. It's a long day. This is why, students, you should never go 2 or 3 days without sleeping, even while traveling. Okay, so I'm on the train to visit my friend in Stuttgart, and I got kicked off the previous train, so I had to wait in the cold for 45 minutes or an hour because your teacher was stupid. And he thought he somehow got a really good deal for a train for €4. But one stop away from my hour and a half, I was on 3 trains, I transferred 3 times. One stop away from my final destination, they checked my ticket finally. And I realized that I had just bought a seat reservation, but not a ticket on the train. I'm kind of confused what the difference is. I guess one is free for all. If you buy a ticket, you could sit wherever you want. That's free. Maybe stand. And I bought a seat reservation somehow without a ticket. So the person at the checking the tickets wasn't very happy with me. She kind of basically made clear to me that I was dumb and I should have known a ticket couldn't cost €4. But I thought it was just my lucky day, or that it was a local train. So anyway, one scary thing about traveling is that you lose control a lot. I didn't have internet for an hour and my friend's picking me up, so that was kind of scary. Not scary, just I felt stressed out about that. But it worked out. I met a Romanian at the station.
Hello everyone, I'm Andre, I'm the friend from your teachers, and I would say it's a very nice person to speak for everything, and I hope you learn of his classroom. Very much like
So luckily he kept me company for an hour, and I'm also watching a very depressing Netflix documentary, which I'm glad I got a distraction from. And my hair looks horrible. This is why I don't do selfies. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, this is what happens when you travel with just... This is my luggage. It's the school backpack I use. You've seen me with it. Okay, this is way too long. Okay, I think this is day 3 of my trip. Maybe it's day 4, I can't remember anymore. You might realize that when you travel. But I am in Stuttgart, Germany. The thing about Europe is that everything's so close together, and I love... that's my friend Heather. Met her in New York. I'm visiting her and her husband right now. They're nice enough to let me stay. It's good to have friends all over the world too, because you get free places to stay. And you get to see them everywhere. That's the only reason I'm friends with Heather still. Just so I get free house seating. But yeah, it's amazing out here. I hope all of you are enjoying your break, even though you won't see this until after break. But these kind of European plazas, I don't know if you can hear the music, the cafe culture. This is what I love. So I think it's day 4 of traveling, maybe day 5. I'm on another plane. Ryanair is, you feel like cattle when you're on it. They charge you extra for everything, but it is so cheap compared to airlines in America. So I'm on my way to London to visit an old friend and coworker. And one of the many good things about Europe is that everything's so close together. The United States is huge. It's the 3rd or 4th largest country, depending on who you're talking to. And yeah, I'm pretty far from Ukraine, but it's still kind of scary to be this close. I feel really bad for the people there. I have friends there. So anyway, I probably should start posting these instead of making you watch them like the day I get back. Again, I hate being on camera, but I'm at my friend Tom's place. About to meet up with some friends for dinner in London. But he has 2 bunnies. This is a new bunny named Jonah. I think you can see. Maybe. I'm not good with this. And then PJ. I met him while we were both working in Turkey. I don't want a bunny myself, but I do like when other people have it. They're pretty adorable. Okay. Okay. So walking through London right now, and I'm just doing this video. I don't want to do a selfie video because I'm tired of it. But we just walked by someone talking loudly on their phone who looked like Rick Astley. It wasn't, because Rick Astley, I assume, is like 60 or 70 years old. But I think I got rickrolled by a banker who looks like Rick Astley. And it's called Bank because the Bank of England is there. Go figure. That was the most boring video I've done this whole session. So going across London Bridge right now, where in the Middle Ages, they used to, well, in most bridges in the era, they used to put people's heads on spikes, especially if they were convicted of treason or something like that. That's the Tower Bridge, which people mix it up with. London is the same city, the same layout as it was in the Middle Ages, so it's kind of confusing and windy. And it's my stop, so heading to the train to the airport. That's what traveling is about, when you don't just use taxis. So I am now in Porto, Portugal, or Oporto in Portuguese. And I'm about to get hit by a truck. And yeah, hanging out with a friend I met in Istanbul, another English teacher, but he's from Brazil. Greatest thing about going abroad is the people watching, meeting friends from all over the world, random street music, and the nice thing is it's very sunny here.
So crowded.
I know. So it's day 6, I think, of my trip. I think it's Saturday. And this is the hardest part about traveling, just waiting at the airport and having a layover. I'm going to a new city. I was just in Porto yesterday, and today I'm going to Marseille in the south of France for the first time. And that's great, I'm excited, but at the same time, it's not fun to have layovers on the way. So usually if you pay enough money, you don't need to, but I like to be a budget traveler. So yeah, this is the part of traveling where you're like, okay, you miss your own bed, things like that. I used to be able to do this for 6 weeks from just a backpack, but now I usually stick to a week, maybe 2. So I'm about to land in Marseille, and your teacher did something really stupid. He almost missed his flight because he sat away from the crowd and he got one gate line mixed up with another. So took my time, was listening to headphones loudly, and then I hurt my toe, so ran to the bathroom to clean up the blood, which I'm sure you want to hear about. And by the time I kind of walked up to the gate, it was closed, and luckily they opened it for me. So moral of the story, and by the way, this is the second time this has happened in Madrid in the past 10 years. Moral of the story is don't listen to headphones too loudly, especially in a foreign country when you don't necessarily understand when they're speaking in Spanish really quickly. So I'm in Marseille right now. One of my favorite parts about traveling is seeing bodies of water from the other side. Whether it's a river, whether it's an ocean. Right now I'm looking at the Mediterranean Sea, which is amazing because I was living in Valencia for the longest time, and I'm a history nerd, obviously, so I just think about all the thousands of, if not tens of thousands, millions of people who traversed these during the Roman and Egyptian and Greek eras. I'm not sure when these forts were created. I assume long after the invention of gunpowder, because I mean, once you started having cannons, they airport started looking less circular and more kind of just thicker walls, more like a star. Right? It's nice and sunny here. It's amazing how much the weather can change. By the way, French bread is always amazing. Back in Lyon, very different day because it's sunny, and that honestly makes such a difference when you're traveling. Right now, this is the end of the, I don't know what the name of it, the anti-war solidarity with Ukraine rally. I actually have a friend in here now, but I don't have Wi-Fi, so I don't know where she is. So this is what your teacher looks like when he has a 6 a.m. flight and basically slept/graded at the airport. This is always the hard thing about traveling, especially if you're trying to get a cheaper ticket. Those 6 a.m. flights really kill you. But luckily, we have slippers, that my friend in Stuttgart let me have, which is really nice. And I have the day off while you all are going to school. So I thought I already had done something stupid with the Madrid thing, and I thought this was the end of my stupid things. But no, I decided to leave my laptop and Kindle and my bag of electronics in the airport. So I had to run back through security and get it. They didn't think I could make it, but I did. But now, as you can see, my face is all red. And luckily, I have my own row, so no one has to smell me. But that was very close. You might not have had assignments this week if I didn't have a laptop. Ew. Right above Greenland right now, which is one of my dream destinations. Okay, I felt my video needed an ending. So, I'm taking the train from LA to San Diego. I went into LA to get my global entry interview. And on the train down, I don't think I've slept in 40 hours. It's kind of crazy. So, we'll see how zany I am tomorrow in class.